In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at these mechs here in front of you, and we're going to find out if they're worth your money. So this is set number 75369, and this is Boba Fett's mech and comes with 155 pieces and retails for $15.99. As we move along, we're going to go to 75368, and this is Darth Vader's mech with 139 pieces and comes with this really cool Darth Vader minifigure. And then as we move along to the last one, this is set number 75370, and this is the Stormtrooper mech, and it comes with the Stormtrooper, as you can see here on the bottom. I'm going to get an in-depth look at these so you guys can see what they look like when they're built. And before we take a look at the minifigures, I actually want to show you guys the mechs first. And these things are actually pretty cool. I really like these. The Boba Fett one is really neat, and one of my favorite parts about these is that the armor on all of these sets are different. So you can see here some of the leg armor on the side of the Boba Fett one, and it really went with this color scheme. They also have this awesome brick-built backpack that's on the back as well that also doubles as a launcher, so you can launch this out of the backpack. And then as you keep spinning it around, you can see the arms kind of match on the sides, but these ones are a little bit different. So this one actually holds the gun for Boba Fett here, and you can actually fire this as well. So it has a stud shooter in the front, as you can see here. So when we zoom in here, you can actually see that the studs are right in the front. And then when you open this up, that's where you can actually fit the minifigure in, and you can see he has a little platform for him to sit on. And most of the mechs are almost identical, and the builds are very similar on all of them. So as we're moving along here, we're going to bring in the one for Darth Vader, and Darth Vader's is just as cool. So as you can see on the back here, when we spin it around, it has a piece to keep the actual lightsaber for Darth Vader, and then the mech itself gets this giant lightsaber here, and this is all one piece. So I thought it was like different bricks by the way it looked on the front of the package, but this is actually one solid piece that connects into the mech. And as you can see on this one, he also has some different armor as well. So on the side of the legs, you can see it's a little bit different than how Boba Fett's armor was. And I really like how they did that. And then when you spin it around to the back, he has like a little pack here, and this is where you mount his saber on the back. And it's the same thing. This flips down here, and you can fit the Darth Vader figure in. And then on the front of the mech, they actually have like the cool little Darth Vader controls that you could see on the front of his chest plate. And then we're going to bring in the Stormtrooper one here. And the Stormtrooper one's actually probably my favorite. It has the most bulky armor on there, I feel like. And I think they really captured the actual Stormtrooper uniform. This one also has a blaster as well, so you can see the scope. And then it has the stud shooter on the front here. And then as we take a side view, you can see some of the really cool armor. One thing I wish they would have did is maybe put some printing on these, on the arm plates, and then also on the legs below. But I guess for you know, 15 bucks, you really can't expect too much. And I think they really put a lot of the money into the minifigures themselves. And when we move on, you're going to see the minifigures. So these all do have movable arms and movable legs on them. And like I said, the build is pretty identical on most of these, but you can see on the Stormtrooper as well, just like Boba Fett, it has the little holsters on the side, so you can put the little blaster in there. So you can actually put the accessory blaster if it would actually go on for me, but you can clip the blaster in for the Stormtrooper here, so you can actually carry the blaster right on the side. And then same thing, this flips down, and you can put the Stormtrooper right inside. It has the platform for the Stormtrooper to sit on, and the Stormtrooper just clips right in here, and it folds into place. And now you can see the mech in action here. And this thing is pretty sweet. Now, I'm going to move on to the other figures, and these things are great for the price tag. So the first figure that we're going to look at, just like the mech, is the Boba Fett figure. And this figure is great. I mean, it's immaculate. It has a ton of printing on the front. The helmet is super detailed. It even has like the little piece there where Boba Fett got shot in the helmet there. And it has all these scratches and everything else. I feel like the placement of the holes on the helmet is actually really good too. He does come with this rangefinder here, and then he also comes with an assortment. I mean, he gets a bunch of different things. You could put a visor on there. Now, I know that's not really Boba Fett style, but it does come with 2 of those visors and actually 2 extra rangefinders as well. So as we spin this thing around here, you can see he does have some arm printing on the side here. and he has the backpack as well on the back, so he does have this nice arm printing. And as you can see where Lego put the holes for the helmet, I think it's a really good placement, and it looks really good on this helmet. I know there's been some complaints in the past about where Lego's putting the holes, but I think they did a pretty good job here. And then when we spin him around to the other side, you can see he does have some arm printing on this side as well. And for 15 bucks, this is a great figure. We're going to take his helmet off, and you can see he has the face printing underneath here, and the printing on the face is really good as well. He has the scarring on his face on the front, and then he also has some scars on the back as well while we rotate it around. And then they did not skimp, and even though they give you this nice backpack piece, they also put some really great printing right on the back of Boba Fett as well. This thing is a great figure, and for 15 bucks, and if you want to add a really cool Boba Fett to your collection, this is the set to get. I mean, this thing is really great. And not only is this a great figure, he also comes with this accessory as well. He comes with this rifle that actually matches the rifle that is on the mech as well, which I think is really cool. So moving along to the next figure here, we actually have Darth Vader. And Darth Vader comes with his standard lightsaber, and then you can see he does have some really nice printing on the front here, and he also has arm print as well. So if you want to get a Vader with some arm print and you don't want to spend the money to get the TIE Interceptor set that had him with the arm print, this is a good way to do it for 16 bucks. So he does have arm printing on both sides, and just like any other Vader, this is a two-piece helmet. So when you remove the helmet here, you can see Darth Vader's face, and I think they did a really good job. And this is, I mean, pretty much the same face that they use on all of the Darth Vaders of recent years. But I mean, it still looks great, and I think they put a lot of detail in here. And like I said before with Boba Fett and even with Darth Vader, for 16 bucks, you really can't beat these figures and the mechs themselves. So if you take his head off here and the bottom portion, he also comes with this really nice cloth cape that Darth Vader usually comes with. And then when you spin him around here, he does have minor back printing on the back. But I just wanted to show you guys that because, you know, Lego tends to kind of skimp a little bit when they're doing these smaller sets, but I think they did a really good job and gave you some great figures for your money. Now, I did show you the Stormtrooper earlier, but I just want to bring it a little bit closer so you guys can see the print in detail. And this figure is pretty good. Like I said, it is pretty lackluster on the arms because it doesn't have really any arm printing. They could have added maybe one of like the Imperial symbols or something like that on the Stormtrooper just to give it a little bit more detail. But it does have this really nice print on the back as well that kind of features the backpack that the Stormtrooper has. I really like the printing all the way around the helmet with these vents on the side as well. And then the face of the Stormtrooper is very detailed and just, you know, has some really nice features on there. I think overall, the three figures that you get for 16 bucks, definitely well worth it. I know I've said that a million times, and I'll say it a million times again. If you guys want to add these to your collection, these are the sets to do it. Now, overall, these are three great figures and three great sets. I mean, the mechs are really cool. I wonder if they're actually going to come out with some Rebel ones, so then you can have some, you know, some conflict or something like that between these if you're going to use it as a play feature. But I mean, as far as play features go, these are packed with a ton of things like movable arms, movable legs. You have removable figures. You could switch the figures between the mechs if you wanted to. But overall, definitely worth the money. I would buy these again. I'd probably buy multiples just to get a bunch of these figures because they are really great. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you watching the video and checking it out. If it's your first time on this channel and you really like Lego content, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more stuff like this. I do builds, reviews, and, you know, really anything Lego or even non-Lego. But I appreciate your time today. I'll see you next week. Let's start building.